Right. So you've been thinking about starting an Amazon FBA business because you've heard it's an amazing way to make money online, but you just don't know the actual cost of starting one. So no worries. In this video, I'm going to talk about the real cost of starting an Amazon FBA business from my own experience selling over $1 million in sales last year. And I'm going to reveal the hidden costs and fees that most new Amazon sellers don't know about. I'm going to show you how you can save some money as well. So now that we are back and refreshed, let's do this. So last month in July, it had cost me $74,293 to run my business. And this is including all the fees and costs and all that stuff. And keep in mind, this is after me scaling it. So imagine you want to start a lemonade stand, right? You would need the essentials like lemon, sugar, and water. Water should be free anyways, but you get the point. But something you might not think about is the other costs associated with it, like getting the cups, buying or renting maybe like the lemonade stand, and even your precious time. So if you don't factor all these extra costs, you could be losing money starting your Amazon business right from the get-go. So that's why I'll be sharing those other costs involved and other things you might not think about and experiences I've learned along the way. When I first started my Amazon FBA 2 years ago, I started as a side hustle because I still had a full-time job, and I saved up $2,000 and I was doing it part-time over the weekends. So if you're looking to do it part-time like I did, I would say set aside about 10 hours minimum in terms of doing Amazon FBA. That'll give you plenty of time in terms of sourcing and finding these products and gives you time to ship them as well. Now let's go over how I exactly use that money and how you can possibly achieve the same thing for you to get started. So we're gonna break it down to the essential supplies first and softwares that you need to run the business. Then after that, we'll go over other things that you can do after you had scaled it. As I mentioned, I started with $2,000 with my Amazon FBA business, and this is actually right in the middle aspect in terms of budget of how much you need to get started. And whenever I have friends asking me how much they need, I usually recommend between $2,000 to $5,000 as a startup capital to give you enough room if you really want to take Amazon seriously. Of course, this is just a guideline. I've seen other sellers that have done it with less money and some that have way more money. And again, it all comes down to the end of sticking to that guideline to see where you need to be at. So the list of things will go in order of priority. So if you are on a tight startup budget, you can start purchasing the key items first before worrying about the other items you need to get down the road. The first cost is gonna be your professional Amazon seller account, and this is gonna run you $40 a month. Next will be the startup supplies that you will need in order for you to prepare your items to get it shipped out to Amazon FBA. So the first one is a Rollo printer, and this is gonna be your best friend in terms of printing labels to put in your Amazon items. And this is super important and is definitely a must for your Amazon business. It's gonna run $180 for a brand new one, and that's how I got it when I first started my Amazon FBA business. If you do want to save some money, you can go to eBay. They run about $125, $130, so that's a $50 savings right there for, you know, a slightly used one or even just like an open box. Next is a 4x6 label. This one is from Rollo itself. It costs $20 to get 500 sheets of this, and it can definitely last you for a while. One hack you can do is to get them for free. You can go to UPS, create an account, and you can actually get this for free. I didn't know that until like a year after, so it's definitely a nice hack to do that. It's gonna save you $20 every time you need to refill. And these are the labels that go outside the box that you stick in when it's going to Amazon FBA. Next is you're gonna need the label. This is a 2x1. I got this at Amazon. It's gonna run about $10 on the Amazon link we got here. And these are the label that will go on the item itself. So as you can see, you can print off multiple ones, and the beauty about the Rollo is thermal. That means you're not gonna need any ink to print all the labels that you're gonna need for Amazon FBA. Next is shipping boxes. That's gonna cost you about $100 to buy them in bulk. My favorite one is from Lowe's. The reason for that is I can order, you know, boxes, anything above $50. They're gonna ship it to you for free, which is awesome. Another good one is from Home Depot or even U-Haul. And most of these boxes, as a guideline, is gonna require you 25 inches or smaller, and it cannot go over 50 pounds. So those are two metrics you need to remember when you're shipping items to Amazon. So most boxes are gonna be either medium or large. Next is gonna be tape, because you need to tape your boxes that you're gonna send to Amazon FBA. So You can buy a bunch of them for cheap, so I would say, you know, $20, $30 in terms of the tapes that you will need. Next is scissors or box cutters, and I guarantee you have a bunch of these laying in your house, so it's going to be zero cost to you. And the last essential item is going to be a weight scale. So when I first started, I actually used a bathroom scale, which is pretty janky in terms of that point. I would like carry the box, weigh myself, then deduct that from my actual body weight to figure out the exact weight of the box. The reason for that is if you just put it on top of the weight scale, you're covering the number itself, then you're gonna have to do it quick or to remove it quick in terms of the weight scale to see the numbers. So yeah, I did that for a couple months. Then around Christmas, my girlfriend gifted me a really nice weight scale. I think it runs about like $120 on Amazon. It has the cord separately so you can see the number of the weight, and it just makes your life so much easier. So I would suggest invest on a really nice weight scale to begin with, so that way you don't go insane. But if you don't have it, if you want to save some money, definitely do like a weight scale. If you don't have one, they go for like $15, $20 from Walmart or wherever you want to get it from. So the next thing you're going to be needing in your Amazon FBA business is going to be softwares. And these softwares are essentials because it's going to help you determine regarding profitable products and looking at leads and being able to run your business efficiently, and just makes it more data driven and being able to make great decisions. And in terms of softwares, they give you two options to pay. You can do a monthly payment, but if you really want to save money and if your capital allows, I would pay the annual fee because it usually saves you, 20%, 15% if you pay annual fee rather than the monthly ones. The first software we're going to talk about is Keepa. So back to our lemonade example, let's say you need to buy some lemonade cups, but you don't want to pay too much. So this is where the Keepa software comes in handy, because Keepa allows you to track the price history of a specific item in terms of Amazon, so that way you know how much you are paying and you're not overpaying for something, and you kind of predict where the price is going as well based on demand. You can also use Keepa to find deals. So if you're looking at certain lemonade cup, for example, and you can see that specific cup is dropping, you'll know by the Keepa history based on the chart itself that you're gonna get a good deal from the price. This is why Keepa is such an important tool for an Amazon seller, because it shows you all the data you may need, especially on the price history, so you can know how much you need to buy the product for and how much they go for sale, so that way you can know how much profit you can make before buying anything. And the best part is that Keepa only costs $20 a month, and I guarantee you it's gonna make you a lot of money, as it did for me, as long as you really master it and put in the time to learn how the software works. So the next software you're gonna need is Inventory Labs, and it's gonna cost $60 a month. I use Inventory Labs to manage my inventory and track my profits. Knowing your inventory is useful information as an Amazon seller, because you will know when you need to start sending inventory because to meet the demands of Amazon, and that way you avoid having to sell out all of your items at once. As I mentioned, Inventory Labs can also be used to track profits. That's how I track my accounting as well. I can put in other expenses such as software, supplies that I've used, or any other business expense related items, and I can all see together because it syncs with my Amazon account. The next software is called Zen. It's basically a profit calculator, and it's my favorite one. I've tried multiple other softwares in terms of calculating product, and Zen costs about $20 a month as well. Zen is an outstanding software that can help run your business because it calculates the profit with you regarding the product that you might be selling. It's going to include, bestseller rank, and also shows you how many times it sells per month. So all this information are all in one page, and it's going to make your workflow so much efficient rather than going to different pages to calculate how much profit you need. But if you're short in capital, Amazon Seller Central does offer a free profit calculator that you can use. Yeah, in terms of getting the essential supplies plus the softwares, it comes out to $550, which is not bad, honestly. And if you follow the advice of buying a used roller thermal printer from eBay, that's going to save you another $50. So you're pretty much $500 estimately to get the essentials of your Amazon FBA business. And if you were saving $2,000, that allows you to use the remaining funds to buy inventory that you can flip, because that's the one that's actually going to make you money. So now let's go over the optional costs that you can expect once you start to scale your Amazon FBA business. First one is another software. It's called Be Cool. It's a repricer that automatically does it for you. It's right about $150 a month. My favorite thing about Be Cool is that it's an AI-based repricer. So all you have to do is put in a price target of a minimum and a maximum, and anything in between that the AI will pretty much does everything for you, so that way you don't have to start changing your price whenever you can manually. It does it for you every 15-20 minutes or so automatically. So when you first start, you only have a few products, so you don't really need it, as it's easier to control those pricing. But once you start scaling up to $5,000 per month or above, it's definitely worth getting a repricer, because it's going to save you a lot of time doing those price manually, and it just makes your life easier all in all. Another optional cost once you scale is using and leveraging a prep center. I've been using it for over a year now, and it's literally one of the best decisions I've made in terms of my Amazon FBA business. A prep center is a place where Amazon sellers can send their items to, and the job of the prep center is to prepare the products so that way they can be ready to get shipped out to Amazon FBA. So example task of a prep center could be inspecting items that could be damaged, right? You don't want that sent to Amazon FBA. Another thing they can do is to remove price labels. You don't want customers to know, like how much you paid for an item, right? Another thing is maybe an item needs to be polybagged. So they'll do that for you, any other manual labors. And the best thing is that they will ship everything out for your behalf, so that way it saves you a lot of time and energy, and all in all, it's definitely worth it once you start scaling. And last month in July, it had cost me $710.61 to do the prep center, and it comes out to about $2 per item. But again, that saved me hours of time for me to do that. Next is getting a full-time virtual assistant. I currently have 2 full-time virtual assistants in my team, and it cost me $1,200 per month for both of them. So the job is to find and source leads for me Monday to Friday. So again, it's a full-time position, and it just allows me to free up a lot of my time instead of manually sourcing different websites or retailers. All I'm doing first thing in the morning is just to kind of go over their leads and start making purchases rather than finding the leads. It might take a couple hours before finding that, so it saves me a lot of time all in all. The website I used to find my virtual assistants, I had used onlinejobs.ph. So basically, once you create an account, you can start your job post in there, and you're gonna get a lot of applicants in terms of that, because Philippines is very lucrative in terms of using those virtual assistants. First of all, they speak English, and the cost is not that much. I think it runs about $3 or $4 per hour, US dollars. And in the Philippines, that's actually a lot of money. So, they can make a really good living by leveraging the internet from their home and using it to work for themselves and to help their family at the same time. So the last one is getting your LLC, and this can range depending which state you live in. It can range from $150, which I live here in Florida, all the way to $800, California. You can get this in the get-go, but I usually recommend to wait a couple months before you get your LLC. The reason for that is you want to remove as much friction for you to get started selling on Amazon. You want to make it easy as possible for you to get started on Amazon, and the last thing you'd want is to kind of apply for the LLC or the EIN on all this paperwork. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're really committed to doing Amazon. So that's why I say wait a couple months. So that way, if you really want to do this for a long term, then yeah, get an LLC, a bank account, and all this stuff. But in the beginning, like I did, I started as my personal account. Then once I started, doing it for 4 or 5 months into it, that's when I got my LLC, and because I knew then the work it would take for me to do my Amazon business. So now with the hidden fees that comes with Amazon FBA. But first, guys, if you had gained a lot of value from this video, please consider subscribing and liking it as well. So with the hidden fees, you're not really gonna experience this in the beginning when you first start, but it's still good to know, and it's something that you should expect once you start making sales and start to grow your Amazon business. The first one is the refunds and returns from customers. It is Amazon's greatest benefit for its customers and what made them really popular, but it's also the worst nightmare if you are an Amazon seller. First is that Amazon is really sneaky about it. They don't deduct the returns and refunds from your overall sales revenue. As you can see, it's kind of deceiving because you're thinking you're making all of these sales, but at the end of the day, when you look at your profit, you're not making as much as you were expecting. That's why softwares like Inventory Lab is so useful, because it breaks down everything for you from your fees, any returns, other expenses, and you can see the bottom line because it syncs again to your Amazon account. Like my total return in July was $7,536. That's crazy. Also, most new Amazon sellers don't know this, is that a customer returns an item, guess what? You as the seller is responsible for getting it shipped back to Amazon FBA, so they actually deduct that from your account as well. Not only that, you'll also be responsible of doing the refund to the customer, and if the item gets damaged, it's pretty much a double whammy at that point. Another hidden thing in terms of selling on Amazon is the long-term storage fees. So Amazon charges all these long-term storage fees of items, anything that's been at their warehouse for over a year. And these fees might be small if you're looking at a specific item, but if it adds up to different items, this is where it really can start to leak in terms of your business and start doing some damages. So again, it all comes back to keeping an eye in your inventory, because you want to sell them within 30 or 45 days, and you don't want it to go past that, because that's where the long-term storage fees can really add up, and most Amazon sellers don't really account for this when they buy and sell items. So you might be thinking, after knowing all this, Lester, is it still worth selling on Amazon FBA? And the absolute answer is yes. All right guys, here are some facts you need to know. Amazon is the most visited retailer website in America. #1, baby. That means millions and millions of people are visiting Amazon.com every single day. So that gives you the advantage off the bat by using this platform, because your customers and your audience are pretty much there, and all you have to do is find the products that they want to buy. Another fact is that Amazon sells 1.29 billion with a B every single day. That is just insane. Another fact is that e-commerce is still at its baby stages. Believe it or not, take a look at the graph here. So here we are at Statistica revenue of the e-commerce industry in the US 2017 to 2027, and this is in the revenue of billions right here, right? So in 2017, all in all, was almost 400 billion. In 2027, they're projecting it to be a trillion at this point, right? Like over a billion. So 2023, we're at 925. So it's just crazy how much growth still needs to be happening. So it's definitely never, or I wouldn't say never, not too late to get into Amazon FBA. Another reason is scalability. Amazon is so easy to scale because you are using their warehouses, you're using their logistics and shipping to do everything for you. So your sole job is to find profitable products and provide that to Amazon FBA and its customers. And you don't have to worry about managing ads or creating listings, especially if you are reselling name brand items that people are already searching for. So starting an Amazon FBA business is a convenient, low barrier, scalable business that you can start just because of the FBA platform that it provides, where large customers are already in there, a lot of traffic, and all you have to do, all in all, is just to provide them with products that you can purchase for low and sell to these customers at a profit. And if you're looking for a step-by-step process to do Amazon FBA as a beginner, here's a video that I had made for you. Check it out. Thank you so much. See you later.